Hi, Omega Chaos here again with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, and this time I'm showing another one of my favorite decks, which is my Synchron or Stardust Synchro deck. So I have been building it and working on it since the Mega Tin cards arrived, and some things of course have changed as well since the new ban list. I did play it in a recent tournament. Unfortunately, it didn't really go that well, and after that the new ban list came out that changed things as well. So I guess let's go to stack. So first let's see the monsters. So I use 2 Stardust Synchron. So it's of course a very important card for this deck, which you can search out your spell and traps that of course include Stardust Dragon, that mentions Stardust Dragon in the card text. And of course it's really good tuner, level 4, and of course can revive from the graveyard by tributing a monster. All around a very essential card for this deck. Then triple chunk Synchron. So I actually used to run 2 in the tournament. But unfortunately I immediately regretted that, because in the first round I opened up a Synchro Overdrive and 2 chunk Synchron, so I couldn't even activate Synchro Overdrive then, and that pretty much went really badly. So now I'm definitely round 3, and of course I think it's very much needed. So definitely one of the key cards in the deck for sure. Then 1 Quick Draw Synchron. Pretty good. It's used to discard my cards I don't really, that I needed in the graveyard, like Doppel Warrior for example. It's a free special summon, not really free, you have to discard obviously, but it's just a good special summon. And also I can summon out Chunk Archer with this card as well, so that one is pretty good I think. And also it's important for the Shooting Rising Dragon combo as well. Then I run 1 Fleur Synchro as my level 2 Synchron tuner of choice. It's pretty good because it's sent to the graveyard for a Synchro summon. You can summon level 2 or lower monster on the hand. Definitely pretty good for that, to get something to the field that is kind of stuck in your hand. And then 1 Jet Synchron, because obviously we have it at 1 still, but thankfully it is pretty much back, because it was banned for a pretty long time, which made this deck pretty unplayable. And thankfully of course now Crystal Hug Filoax is now banned as well, so hopefully this card will be in multiples in the future. So obviously a very important card for this deck. Then I run 1 Converging Wills Dragon for the Majestic combo in this deck. I think it's pretty good for that more or less. Then I run 1 Stardust Trail to combo with Stardust Synchron and all the other cards to summon out your level 8 Synchros, especially Stardust Dragon. Then triple Chunk Converter. I was a little bit iffy about this card in the new version of the deck, but I think you still need it, because it you can get to discard like a tuner like Jet Synchron to the graveyard if you have it stuck in your hand. You can of course search out your Chunk Synchron and anything else. So definitely pretty good I think, and on its own it's also pretty nice. Then of course I run triple Doppel Warrior, obviously very essential card for this deck obviously. One of the problems for this deck is that it's pretty hard to get access to this card sometimes. Obviously you have to get it in your hand, but then you also of course have to get it to the field as well, and sometimes that's hard to do. So yeah, obviously I've considered running like Small World to search out this card as well, but I don't think that's a little bit excessive. So obviously it is pretty much the most important card for this deck. Then I run triple Ascator Dawnwalker, and of course really including with that obviously the Fire Ant Ascator. I use this engine because it's of course really good to summon out your level 8 Synchros like Stardust Dragon, but also your level 8 Dark Dragon Synchro to go into Calamity as well. So I still use it, and of course you can use it to discard your Doppel Warrior, so then you sets up your Chunk Synchron play as well. Then I run 1 Calico Claw Crow It's pretty good because it has 600 defense exactly, so I can search it up with Qubit pitch, and of course it's pretty good extender as well, and sometimes you have to use it to make chunk speeder as well. Then I use triple Nibiru, the primal opening, as my last monsters in the main deck. Obviously it's really powerful. Finally I have it, before it was a little bit too expensive for me. But obviously it's a very impactful hand trap, so to speak, good against any combo decks. But of course sometimes you won't be able to use it against Sprite. If they use Kick and Sprite, of course it's kinda useless, or if they put Negate on board first. But against most combo decks it's very good. Then the spells pretty much, I don't use any traps in this deck. So one Raven Light for the Shooting Majestic combo, I think it's pretty good for that. Then 3 Stardust Illumination, obviously really important card to send your Stardust monsters to the graveyard, and also you can use it to modify levels as well of your Stardust monsters, so definitely a very important card for this deck for sure. Then I use triple Synchro Overtake. It's pretty much a measure teleport for this deck, more or less. So you can reveal pretty much the Synchro, and then you summon a tuner that is named in the Synchro materials, or you can add it to your hand as well. Definitely a very important card for this deck for sure. Then I use triple Tuning for, of course, the searching ability as well, and sometimes you can accidentally mill your Doppel Warriors. That's definitely pretty good. Then I use one Reinforcement Army, pretty good as well. Of course, search the Doppel Warrior, for example, or anything else you need. Then one Force Boreal to send anything you need to the graveyard, especially Doppel Warrior, of course. Then I use triple Dark Ruler No More. That's my other going second card in this deck aside from Nibiru. Of course, I don't use any other hand traps in this deck aside from Nibiru because they are not very impactful, and I don't really have that much space in this deck as well for those hand traps. So I have to use the most impactful cards when I have to go second. And the last card in the main deck is one Quadra Grave, of course, because this deck is quite weak to hand traps, unfortunately. So now let's see the X deck. Of course, for the X deck I use those U-size sleeves, which is very appropriate for this deck. Of course, I use one Cosmic Laser Dragon, one of my favorite cards in the game. Obviously, I think you probably know what this card does. It can pretty much negate anything, any card effect, any summon. It can even negate attacks. And also, the banishing to the end phase is a cost, which means that even if they negate it, it still will come back at the end of the turn. Definitely a very powerful card for sure. Then one Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, one of the main wing additions in this deck, because if you summon it in your opponent's turn, after you use this card's effect, they won't be able to activate anything else on the field. Definitely is very powerful, but you have to be careful with this card because it can miss timing. So you have to wait until they resolve their first effect or something like that. So definitely really good. It has a pretty good floating effect as well. Then I use one Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Obviously, really good. Works pretty similar to Cosmic Blizzard Dragon, except the fact that the banishing to the end phase is not a cost, so they can negate it and it won't come back, unfortunately. And also it can pretty much attack twice, because you probably have a Star Dragon in your graveyard after you summon this card. So all around it's a pretty good card for this deck for sure. And also a funny thing about this card and the Raven Light is that they actually weren't reprinted the Megatin, so I had to get them separately pretty much. Thankfully they weren't very expensive. But yeah, still definitely very unusual that you didn't reprint those two cards. Then of course I used that one Stardust Dragon, the ace monster of Yusei Fudo. Then there was one Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. Of course, before the ban list came out, and in the tournament I used a chaos ruler instead of this, but since it's now banned for a pretty good reason, I have to now use something else, any other level 8 Dark Dragon Synchro, and I think this is pretty much the best choice in my view. It's definitely really good. Either summon it to summon your Calamity, or you summon it and destroy all of the Spasm monsters on the field. It can be good in time as well. Then there was one Cypher Lord Omega. Something I'm testing out right now, because obviously sometimes you need to discard Toppled Warrior with Ascator, and then you summon your level 8 Synchro first before you go into Chunk Speeder. But then you have one less zone to summon out your Synchron Tuner. But with this, you can banish one of your opponent's cards from the hand, and it will leave the field as well, and comes up in your next turn. So you will able to clear the field before going on the Chunk Speeder. So definitely I think it's good for that. Then one Chunk Archer. That's my Synchro Overtake reveal of choice. Obviously you can either use Chunk Warrior, discard, or Chunk Destroyer. I definitely have gone back and forth with this Chunk Archer and Chunk Destroyer, but right now in this version, Chunk Archer is probably the best. And of course, I use it to pretty much out my own Nibiru token, more or less, but it can be good in other situations as well. Then I use one F8 on Daxter, because it's a really good level 7 Synchro I can easily summon. And of course, it kind of gates present traps as well. Definitely really amazing. Then of course the main combo card in the Daxter deck is Chunk Speeder. It's pretty much the key card in the Daxter deck to get everything going, more or less. Obviously, I think you know what this card does. It requires a Synchron Tuner, and of course any other non-tuner monster. You Synchron summon this card, you can summon as many Synchron Tuners with different levels as much as possible. So definitely really good, obviously. And of course in combination with Toppled Warrior, it's really amazing. So yeah. Then one TG Hive Librarian, of course. Really good, of course, get those extra draws and stuff like that. Are really amazing for sure. Then I use one Shooting Roger Dragon. Unfortunately, I can't send Fairy Tail Snow anymore with this card, but I think it's still very essential for the Calamity combo for sure. Then I use one Axel Synchron. Again, another important card for the Calamity combo. It's a pretty good Synchro Tuner as well. Then I use one Cute Pitch, level 4 tuner, that can modify levels of, can burn your opponent, and also you can search out your one 600 defense monster, which in my deck is Calico Claw Crow. So definitely really good for this deck. Then one Celestial Double Star Shaman, very important Synchro Tuner in this deck, because it can revive a Toppled Warrior from the graveyard, and then you extend your combos more or less. And of course, the next deck is one Formal Synchron, of course get your extra draws, and of course go for your Axel Synchros as well. So that was the main deck. Now I will show you pretty much the main combo for this deck. Now let's show you the main combo for this deck. So pretty much you need Synchro Overtake and Toppled Warrior as your main pieces to your combo. That's pretty much the most simplest way to get out Chunk Synchron and Toppled Warrior. And then eventually you need to at least draw into your Ascaton Dawnwalker, or you draw it in your opening hand, doesn't matter. But eventually draw it with Hope Valerian. You don't need to do an opening play, but you definitely need it later probably. Or some other way to go into extra level 8 Synchro. So, for the start of the combo, you're going to activate Synchro Overtake and reveal our Chunk Archer. Of course, then summon Chunk Synchron on the deck. Then normal summon Toppled Warrior. Then Synchro summon with these two to go into Chunk Speeder. Then of course Chainlink 1 obviously it has to be Chunk Speeder, otherwise they can easily hash it, and Chainlink to Doppel Warrior. Obviously can still affect value inventory permanence your Chunk Speeder, but what can you do, I guess? Of course, summon tokens and then summon the 3 tuners on attack with different levels. You can summon Star Synchron, Jet Synchron, and Chunk Synchron, another Chunk Synchron on deck. Then activate Star Synchron's effect to search out the spell card or trap card. For this combo, it doesn't really matter what you search, Around Light, or I guess in this case just search Around Light, because you have the combo pretty much counted anyway. Then you go for level 5 Synchro with Star Synchron and the Doppel token. The DG Hyperlibrarian, or the Exchange Hyperlibrarian, I mean. Then you can synchro summon it to level 2 Synchro. In this case, it's going to be Celestial Double Star Shaman. You have very important card. So then, of course, Hyperlibrarian is also going to be chaining 1 because it's a monetary effect. So chaining 2 is Double Star Shaman and starting the Doppel Warrior and then summoning it. And then draw the Hyperlibrarian random card. Then you sync summon into the level 4 Synchro, into Cupid Pitch. Then of course Hyperlibrarian and Cubes are both another effects, you can roll that any way you want. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 to modify the level, and Chainlink 3 is Doppel Warrior. Summon the 2 tokens again. And then I will turn Cupid Pitch to level 6. And of course draw a random card with Hyperlibrarian. Then I sync summon to level 7. It will summon Shooting Rising Dragon. Then of course Chainlink 1 Hyperlibrarian, Chainlink 2 Cupid Pitch, and Chainlink 3 Shooting Rising Dragon. Send someone to the graveyard and has to be level 5, so I send Quick Draw Synchron, so I make it level 2. And Cupid's effect allows you to search out your Crow and burn your opponent for 200 damage, because I turn it to level 2 monster. So this is not going to be your hand, because obviously you have to assume you're going to do it with Hyperlibrarian. And draw with Hyperlibrarian as well. Then you spell summon your Calico Crow, because it controls a dark monster, and synchro it to level 5. To Axel Synchron, draw again. Again, Junction has to stay in the deck. Then you activate Axel Synchron's effect. Send Junction into the graveyard to make it level 2 monster. Then you discard any card you want, or in this case it's going to be that. And summon back Jet Synchron. Then Synchron with that, and that token. Summon Formula Synchron. Then Chainlink 1 Hyperlibrarian, Chainlink 2 top Formula Synchron, draw 2 more cards. Then you go into Delta Axel Synchron. Go into Cosmic Blazer Dragon, obviously, really powerful card. And then finally, go back to Ascot Dawn Walker. Discard anything you want, more or less. Then spell summon that, and then Fire Ant Ascotor. And then you go for your level 8 Synchro, and it's going to be your Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. So that's pretty much your full combo. So obviously you are going, now we have your Omni Negate with Constant Dragon, and obviously both are your level 2 Synchro tuners that can activate, that they can use their effects to summon in your opponent, Synchro summon your opponent's turn. And then you pass your turn, then your opponent does something. Again, like how you have to be careful when you activate the Synchro tuner's effect, because Calamity can miss timing, but anything they resolve something, set something, anything like that. Obviously, you just have the Dragon negate anything if it threatens your play. And then you can go and activate your Dragon's effect to Synchro summon, double tuning into Hot Dragon Archwind, King Calamity, and then you can activate this effect. Now they can't do anything in their turn, more or less, and they can't respond to this effect either once you can activate this effect. So that means the best, or pretty much the full combo you want to do in every single game, more or less. Definitely a very powerful one, but of course you can't do it all the time. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. I definitely will keep working on this deck for sure, try to make it better. So for now, goodbye and Omaheus out.